Ever feel like investing is this giant, complicated world that's just not for you? Well, what if I told you there's a brilliantly simple tool out there that has totally changed the game, making it easier than ever for anyone to build a powerful investment portfolio?
All right, let's get into it. Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll break down what an ETF even is. Then we'll get into why they're so great. We'll tackle a huge investing question, look at the battle between pure math and human psychology, and wrap up with a pro tip you absolutely need to hear. Okay, first things first, let's jump right in and answer the big one. What in the world is an ETF? I mean, seriously, how is that even possible? Owning a piece of hundreds of the world's top companies with a single click. It sounds kind of like a magic trick, doesn't it? But it's not magic. The answer is actually one really elegant idea. And this is it. An exchange-traded fund, or ETF for short, is basically just a basket that holds a whole bunch of different investments. Think of an S&P 500 ETF. It's a basket holding stocks from all 500 of those companies. And here's the cool part. You can buy or sell a share of that entire basket on the stock market any time of day, just like you would with a single stock, like, say, Tesla. I love this analogy because it makes it so clear. Think of an ETF as a cake mix from a box. The recipe is already set, it just follows a proven formula, like the S&P 500 index. It's simple, it's reliable. A mutual fund, though, is more like a custom cake, where a professional baker, that's your fund manager, is actively picking and choosing special ingredients, trying to create something even better. Okay, so we know what they are, but the real question is, why have ETFs become so incredibly popular? What's the secret sauce that makes millions of investors love them so much? While this chart lays it all out, ETFs are usually passive, meaning they just copy an index. No one's trying to be a hero and pick stocks. You can trade them all day long. But the real kicker, the game changer, look at those fees. ETFs are just way, way cheaper. And if you think a tiny little fee doesn't matter, well, look at this. This example from SciFi is just staggering. A simple 1% difference in fees could cost you over $80,000 over the long run. That's a car. That's a down payment on a house. It's a huge deal. So when you put it all together, you get this amazing package. You get the low costs we just talked about. You get instant diversification, which spreads out your risk. You get liquidity, so you can get your money in or out easily. And you get transparency, so you always know exactly what you own. All right, so you've got the tool. You get it. But a great tool is pretty useless without a strategy, right? And that brings us to one of the biggest, most timeless questions in all of investing. Just imagine it for a second. You get a big bonus at work, maybe an inheritance. You've got this pile of cash just sitting there, ready to go. What's the move? Do you jump in the deep end and invest it all right now, or do you just dip a toe in and go slowly? At the end of the day, it really boils down to two main paths. You can do what's called lump sum investing, put it all to work immediately. Or you can try dollar cost averaging, which is where you invest your money in smaller, regular chunks over a few weeks or months. And this is where it gets really fascinating, because your choice puts two powerful forces in direct conflict with each other. What the cold, hard numbers say you should do versus what our messy human brains feel like we should do. So let's talk about the math first. And you know what? The data is shockingly clear on this. Studies from giants like Vanguard have shown that since the market generally goes up over time, getting your money in the market sooner is better. Lump sum investing wins about 2/3 of the time. So if the math is so obvious, why is this even a debate? Well, because we're human. We're not spreadsheets. As research from places like Morgan Stanley shows, our psychology is a huge factor. Dollar cost averaging is like an emotional safety net. It helps to avoid that crushing feeling of regret if you invest everything right before a big drop. It helps you get started instead of being paralyzed by fear. So what's the right move for you? It really just depends on what you care about most. If your number one goal is to squeeze out every possible dollar of return based on history, lump sum is probably the way to go. But if your priority is sleeping well at night and avoiding costly emotional mistakes, dollar cost averaging is an incredible strategy. The best plan is the one you can actually stick to. Okay, we're in the home stretch. You've got the tool, you've got the strategy, but hang on. Before you run off and start buying, there's one more absolutely critical thing you need to know. This can save you from a nasty, expensive surprise. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Look at what Morningstar says. This is a trap that trips up a lot of people, even financial pros, and they often don't realize it until the damage has already been done. So
Here's the deal. It all comes down to taxes, and there are two things you have to check. First, where is the ETF legally based? Its domicile. An ETF based in the US, for example, can hit international investors with a massive 30% tax on dividends. Second, what's its local tax status? If it doesn't have the right reporting status, your profits could get taxed as regular income, which is way higher than the capital gains rate. It sounds technical, I know, but a 5-minute check can literally save you thousands.
So there you have it. The ETF is no longer a mystery. It's a powerful tool, and now you have the strategies to put it to work. The only question left is the one right there on the screen. Are you ready? Thanks for joining me.